Okay, the gentleman earlier mentioned about VTA, and I was at a presentation by them lately, and they're literally looking over 10 years at something like $10 billion that they want to spend in this valley to improve the bus network with things like bus rapid transit, BRT, and the flex that he mentioned and all that. Whereas in reality, a colleague of mine asked a very, very important question that the person making the presentation couldn't even answer, and that is how much of that increase in bus infrastructure will be rendered absolutely obsolete by things like Uber and self-navigating vehicles. Hadn't we best be looking at how to gauge our infrastructure, any expansion of paved road, all of that in a framework that includes this upcoming technology? And I'd love to hear both of your responses on this, because we've got to spank VTA to get them to really end up serving the public in a constructive manner, as opposed to just having their, as opposed to having their little feudal domain.
And one of the reasons why we're here is that if you look at some of the transportation agencies are supposed to do a 30-year plan out there, and most of them are clueless. Federal DOT is clueless, okay? And in a sense, I mean, well, hey, I'm clueless too, okay? I don't know, but really, you couldn't say it any better than you said it.
But that's why we started these workshops. I actually started them 2 years ago for the metropolitan planning organizations. That's who we invited. That's who we've been trying to engage every summer, to try to get them and to come and to these conferences to understand it's here. It's real.
To make you aware, we've got the Agrivision project in, and part of that will be the transportation.
We're getting low on time, and I'm sorry we couldn't get to more questions. But I think what you're hearing loud and hopefully really loud and clear here is that you have some very frustrated and anxious residents that live in this community and surrounding communities. I'm looking around, I see people from probably 4 different cities in the chairs right now, and I know they're from at least 10 to 12 miles away, and they're here not because they want to spend their Thursday night listening to this, although I hope the pizza was good, right? I hope it's all right. But I guess the important thing is we're here because we want to engage and we want to do something. And I'm as frustrated as many of these people, maybe not as much as some, but the lack of choices and the lack of options that we have right now, really, as Daphne said, the car's the only choice. You can't take another choice. Uber is a choice. So I guess if I could ask that, maybe take like a minute just to summarize what can we tactically do now to make sure that either future developments incorporate certain things, or what can we do to organize in such a way that people will actually listen to the frustration that we have and not just allow development to kind of run rampant.
Well, I don't know. I have 2 thoughts. One, we should have brought Dennis Manning, who managed to get Fresno to put a lot of money on the table and to think about it. Or maybe 3 things here. 2, we just spent a good portion of this conference with the high-speed rail people, and they are absolutely on the side of full interconnectivity to the new high-speed rail stations, so that you can easily get from wherever you are to a high-speed rail station. They don't believe that the high-speed rail will function properly without these types of systems for full connectivity. And so there are people here in the state that are very knowledgeable about these systems, very much interested in them. How I'm not, from California, but you need to start, maybe we can share some people's names, Alan. They need to start tapping into people that firmly believe this has got to start to happen.
Well, I think the other thing is that we should applaud Google and Tesla and so on for what they are doing, and maybe they've gone a little bit too far. We should not put roadblocks in front of them, not yet. I mean, if the stuff really doesn't work, if we are wrong, then we're wrong. Okay, I can't see into the future any better than anybody else. I'm not clairvoyant. But in fact, there are things happening. There are things happening here in California. There are things happening right here, and so if I don't know if you want to applaud them or help them or don't stand in the way. I don't know. Give them a chance, And I think that it really is, when you look at it, it may be the best chance that we have. All right, but you come up, you think about it. We've given you some things to think about. You make up your own minds.